Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dungeon Brawlers. I'm Jeremy DMing, and today we're diving into Session 1, Episode 3, where we continue the epic journey of the Dungeon Brawlers. If you've been following along, you know we are building to some great stuff. And if you're new here, don't worry, you can catch up anytime. Now, let's get back to the action. All right, so Layla, you are the first to enter the building itself. You see a small, I guess you would say, almost like a small foyer that you have entered. And a few seconds after you enter, both Kiri and Sage decide to join you. It is dark, it is dank. A smell of rotting flesh just assaults your nose. Let's do a quick perception check while
Gotcha.
you're.
That's what I was going to ask.
Alrighty, so we've got a 23, a 14, and a 15. You guys begin to hear the echoes of footprints or of footfalls. Not really footprints, but the sound of feet walking on the stone. You hear very vaguely a chanting that echoes throughout the building. You definitely feel that you are not alone.
I will, I think, whisper to, I think Gary's a bit closer to me. Gary, get the guys in here.
I'll whisper back, most definitely.
Thank you.
And I look at Sage and Lila, and I say, maybe we should bring the boys and set them loose.
I agree. This place makes my skin crawl.
I
Can
lean
we
out
hear
the
them?
door.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean out the door, and I'm gonna gesture for you guys to come in.
Hey, get in here.
Be free.
You.
Phelan planks his way in.
All right, there. They apparently came through okay. So the five of you now are standing in this creepy foyer. Uh, again, this smell of rotting flesh, the sounds of footfalls, echoes, and the sound of chanting echoes through the entire building. Where would you like to go?
Phelan really quickly turns to the group and says, I sense evil here. I think I should bless you all if you would let me. Use my long sword of blessing and upcast it. How many do I need to use to get all five of us?
Since you're not in combat and you're using it as a regular action, it would be a grand total of one is three, two is four, three charges.
All right. Consider yourselves blessed.
Thank you.
And what that does, it allows you to roll an extra d4 when you're doing an attack roll or a saving throw.
All right. Which direction should we head?
Which direction were we hearing the chanting from, Jeremy?
Too difficult to determine. It seems to be
Okay.
coming from everywhere.
Gotcha.
In the limited space that you are in, you can see a pathway that goes north, a pathway that goes east, and a pathway that goes west.
How about we go over in this direction?
They're all
Fine
equally
by me.
foul.
Yeah, we can go that way. Russ will follow
Do we have a
behind.
marching order, or is that something you do?
Can Phelan do a perception check in here to see if there's anything of interest?
Yes, go right ahead. Definitely roll a perception. All right, on an 11. Let's see. Yeah, the chanting seems maybe a little bit louder down this direction. You definitely notice foot traffic within the dust. You know, you find yourself in a small alcove. There is a stone table in the center, most likely used to place offerings to Ahriman. You can see by the light a small stairway to the north that trails down into the darkness.
Shall we keep moving forward?
Yeah, we can continue moving forward.
I think I shall take rear guard if that's all right.
Let's let the shiny armor clink and clank along.
Phelan keeps moving down the hallway. So he gets right here.
All right. The hallway is strangely still. The air, there is no airflow. The chanting gets louder down that direction. And you can see that the path splits. You can continue going north or you can go east.
The path splits ahead. Which way should we go?
Which way does the sound come from? Is it to the left, or to the east, or to the north?
If you want, Phelan, you can do a quick perception check to see if you can determine the direction of the chanting.
19.
Nice.
On a 19, it's definitely coming from the north straight ahead. You can see by the light of your torches a door right here that is closed.
It sounds like the chanting is coming behind this door, perhaps.
And then as your light reveals, there is another door right here. And the path turns to the east a little.
Shall we go in this room over here?
And then Phelan, you would also be able to notice by your light, there is also a door here. If you like, you can do another perception check to find out where you think the chanting is coming from.
6.
Ooh, on a 6, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it could be the door here, it could be the door here, but it also could very well be the door here.
Could I make a perception check?
Yes, you could.
All right, wisdom, let's go. Wow.
Oh no.
For you, Russ, the chanting seems to be coming from every direction.
My
I'll
ears
go back in
may
the
be a
court.
little sharper. I'd like to run a perception check as well.
Go ahead.
Hmm.
All right, Sage with a 14. Let's see, where are you at in the lineup? All right, you can tell that it's not coming from this door.
Mhm.
It's
Okay, guys,
definitely
it's not this
up.
door. It's up ahead somewhere.
All right, lead the way.
This is a door in front of me, correct?
That is a door in front of you, correct?
Can I check it for traps?
Do a sleight of hand check, please.
Light of hand.
Am I close enough to give the help action?
All right, so you get the help action with a +2, so a total of 14. The door is not trapped.
Okay, Phelan opens the door and walks inside.
Rust will
All right.
follow.
You are horrified by what you see, Phelan. Don't go too far now. 'Cause I've got a scene to describe. So, you see a room that is absolutely
There we go.
filled with cultists, all chanting a horrific spell. And in the center of the room is a large runed magic circle that distorts the very air about it. Evil is pouring out of the magic circle. It's as if evil is trying to get out while trying to absorb magical energy within the area. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Oh, great. That's the turn order. Holy crap. All right, let me give me a second to kind of straighten this out. So Sage got a 23. Where is there you are? And then after that, Rust with a 19, Laya with a 24, then Phelan with an 8, Curie with a 9.
So on my end, I don't have anyone in the turn order other than me, Phelan, Kiri, and the cultist.
That's what I'm seeing as well.
All right, so Sage and Layla, go ahead and re-roll your initiative then, please.
Okay.
Just make sure you click on your character first.
Yeah, thank you. Here we go. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
All righty, so then the order I have, Laya goes first, followed by Sage, followed by Rust, followed by Kiri, and I have the same number. So Kiri, let's just go ahead and have a quick roll off, just a blank D20. Highest one goes. Followed by Kiri, then the cultist, and then Phelan. Does that seem correct for everyone?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Now that we are in combat, your speed will be a factor, so keep that in mind. If you have 30 feet of movement, that is 6 squares that you can move per turn. All right. Uh, I keep wanting to say Leia. Leia, it's your turn.
Let's see. Bonus action. Is that Sage after me?
Yes.
2 and 3. Okay. You get a bardic inspiration, and since I am a Valor Bard, just a minute, sorry. I'm a Valor Bard. You can do all the normal stuff that you could with a bardic inspiration, but you can also, oh fudge, add. You can roll that die and add it to a weapon damage roll, or when an attack roll is made against a creature, you can use your reaction and add the number rolled to your AC against that attack. So it's a D6 right now. Do you have a bardic inspiration to use as you see fit? I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, and I'm going to try and catch these 4 up here. So, just a minute. Spells. Fairy Fire. Okay. So, that
So it's a
is
save, and you're doing the 4 at the top.
trying to.
All right. So let's see. Dex.
It's not letting me add like the effect to it.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll get that here in a second. All
Okay.
righty. So 20 feet from you, 1, 2, 3. Yep, you could get there, so that the range is not a problem. 2, 3, 4. All right. So the way this will work, I'm going to give out my measuring tool so you can see. So it's a 20-foot cube in a 60-foot range. The 20-foot cube, if you wanted to get three of them, you would be able to do from like basically this guy, right?
The one to
And then
his right. Yep.
and then back to that one. The guy in the upper
That's
left
fine.
will not be. So I'm gonna do the guy
That's
in the
fine. Those 3.
upper right will go first.
Okay.
He gets a
And he saves
15.
poopy. Okay.
The one underneath him, he gets a 12.
Doesn't save. Okay.
And then the one to the left, also a 12. So the 2 front ones do fail. What is the effect that happens then?
A attack rolls against those 2 have advantage. The attacker can see it. So the 2 in front, if they fail the dex save, they are illuminated with like bright purple light, and attacks against them have advantage. That's my action, my bonus action, and I think I'm going to move just a little bit over here so we are not quite so close together for AoE. And that is my turn.
Okay. I
Excellent.
have a quick question.
Go
Are
ahead.
these columns that are blocking my sight line? Do you see where I'm
Oh,
pinging?
yes, I see exactly what you're talking about. The columns themselves are in horrible shape. They don't even provide half cover.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, in that case, I'm going to use my bonus action, cast Hunter's Mark on this guy right here. And I'm going to use my longbow against him.
You have advantage against that guy, so go ahead and roll again.
Okay. Can you tell me which one I roll? I'm having trouble seeing behind some things.
On that one, you rolled a 9.
Okay. And then what dice do I roll again?
It would be the same thing you click to get that result. It's the D20. So
Okay, perfect.
whatever you click to get that result on the screen is what you click again.
Okay.
All right. So on a 16 hits. Now you can go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay.
Damn, what a
Nice
shot.
hit.
Wow.
Thank you.
So before we continue on, can everyone see the bars that are on top of everyone's tokens?
Yes.
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 Sweet. Sometimes that doesn't work. All right. So Sage, you're a ranger, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. I just want to be sure I'm describing this right. Sage, with all the skill of a woodland ranger, draws back her long bow, and the arrow she looses finds its target true and buries itself deep in the upper shoulder of the cultist, leaving only the fletching visible. For 12 points of damage, the cultist grunts in pain.
I think you have Hunter's Mark as well, Sage.
Yes.
So that
Oh, yeah, I do. So what do I
That's
do?
an extra 1d6.
Extra 1d6. Alrighty. Here we go.
Oh, good Lord.
All right.
What a shot. All right. So some things I like to do, some things I don't, and I'm going to do something that will pop up between now and then several times, but it's not going to happen all the time. I am going to do a constitution check on this guy because that one shot did so much damage. His body might go into shock and he might die. If he rolls higher than a 10, he survives. If he rolls under a 10, he will die instantly just due to the massive shock of damage that he received.
Ooh, good job, Sage.
Thank you.
The cultist collapses to the ground and doesn't move again. Does that end your turn?
It does.
All right, then, Rust, it is now your turn.
All right. So Rust is going to move up to this cultist here. And he's going to cheekily pull out his rapier and try and slash at this cultist.
All right. Before you do that, you have entered the circle.
Uh-oh.
It is exuding all that dark energy. So let's go ahead and let's do a Constitution saving throw.
Aha! Beat that!
Damn.
Nice.
All right. So you passed. You passed. That is a definite pass. So as you enter the circle, and everyone can see this circle that's roughly in the center of the map, you feel an evil presence wanting to drain the life out of you. But your constitution is so strong, you shrug it off as if it were nothing. So go ahead and continue with your action.
All right, I'll remember that then. Oh,
Nice.
What the heck?
I do have advantage against this person too, correct?
Correct. Go ahead and see if you get the crit.
Come on, give me that 20s. Okay, no.
Still, wow, both of them hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alrighty, here we go.
For an 11 points. Russ drawing his trusty rapier, and with the expert moves of an expert swordsman, slashes through the cultist, doing 11 points of damage. The cultist howls in pain and returns a look of utter anger and disgust at Rust.
And that will end me turn.
All right then, Kiri, it is now your turn.
Alrighty, I'm going to start off by stepping into the room, and then this wizard right here in the left corner, I'm going to cast Starry Wisp.
All right. But before we do that, based on your movements, you had an enemy that was right here, and you passed this circle right here, or I'm sorry, this square right here, which allows for an attack of opportunity.
Yep. Come at me.
Come at me, bro.
You do have the bardic as an to add to your AC as well.
Ouch.
Ooh. Ouch. The skeleton gets a nat 20 as his short sword bites deep into your shoulder as you pass him. You suffer 10 points of damage. Go ahead and continue with your ranged attack against the cultist in the back of the room.
Righty. Big money. There we go.
A 21 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. All right, Starry Wisp, is that a spell or is that your bow?
That's a spell.
It's a cantrip.
Look
Yeah.
at that. That is a nice one. So for radiant damage, as Kiri casts the spell and her hands begin to glow with the white lights of holy radiant power, the spell is released and it shoots towards the cultist, nailing him right in the chest, and it explodes in a sparks of radiant energy, doing 8 points of damage.
Alrighty, and I'm gonna stay right there.
All right, and if that ends your turn, it is now the cultist's turn. All right, let's see. What should I do first? Phelan, we're going to go with you first. The necromancer that is to your left is going to go ahead and try to attack you. It's going to attack you with a staff. Does a 13 hit your AC?
It does not.
All right, then his skeleton minion is going to attack you. And a 14.
No.
Which I can clearly see you have an AC of 19. They both of them miss. So the cultist swings his staff towards you. You block it with your sword. And I'm assuming you also have a shield?
That is correct.
And as you block the staff with your sword, the skeleton takes a swing with his short sword, and you block it with your shield with a loud clang. Let's see. Then, Rust, you might get hurt, my friend. Let's see what happens.
Magic
The
missile.
closest next to you is going to try to stab you with a dagger. 17, and the 17 misses as he lunges forward with his weapon. You block it expertly with your rapier. The cultist that's behind him casts magic missile.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I can take it.
First missile. 2. Second missile. 3. So 5 so far. Final missile. 4 for a grand total of 9 points as the green glowing energy of the missiles smacks into your body. Just boom, boom, boom. 9 points of damage hit against you.
See, I told ya. I've got this.
The cultist that Curie hit is going to cast magic missile against you, Laya. First
Silvery
missile.
barbs. I cast silvery barbs. It's a reaction.
Nice, nice.
Wait, it hits regardless, doesn't it?
Magic missile does hit regardless.
Yep.
But that I will mark him if you want.
It's all right. I will take back the spell slot. I sorry. Yeah, cast it and I will take the damage.
All right, no problem. No problem. We'll go ahead and do that. So you'll take the damage. Here's the first missile. 4. Second missile.
Okay.
3. Final missile. Ooh, max damage of that one. 9, 10, 11, 12 for 12 points of damage as the
Wow.
arcane energy just smacks into you. Boom, boom, boom.
It's 12. Oof.
12 points of damage.
That's fine. Minus 12. Yeah.
That should be. There you go. There you go. Now you got it. All right. So I've got one more left. Let's see. He. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll do that. And he is going to try to smack you with a staff. Whoops. Oh, my.
Does he have to do a con save too?
No, he does not.
How
I do though,
rude.
because fairy fire is a concentration, and I just took a bunch of damage, so that's DC 10. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. All right. So we'll go ahead and roll because that attack on Russ missed. Ah, look.
Yay!
So it stays up. And then finally we have the little skeleton left. He's a mindless autonomon, so let's see. He'll go 1, 2, 3.
I want to take an opportunity attack at the reaction, can I?
Yes, you can, because he moved right past you. Go ahead and roll for that attack.
It'll be melee, so it'll be short sword. That is 19.
You don't even have to roll for damage.
He's gone. Okay.
As the skeleton passes you, you draw your short sword and make a quick attack of an opportunity, absolutely obliterating its skeletal form. And that will be it for the cultists. Phelan, we are now up to you.
All right. So Phelan is going to use a bonus action to cast Divine Favor. I'll put that on there. And he's going to make an attack with his long sword of blessing to the guy straight to his left. Oof. Let me roll my d4.
Didn't you bless
I
yourself
did.
as well?
Yep, I'm rolling it.
Well, you get to roll 2d4 then, because I'm gonna rule that both effects stack. All right, then. On a 13, a 13 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
All right. So that is
And you're using it one-handed.
One-handed, so 6 points of slashing damage, and then what did the divine favor add? That added a D4. 1 point of radiant damage.
All right. So Phelan, using his long sword of blessing, that just takes a massive swipe at the cultist to his left. It bites deep into the cultist's body, right at his side. The cultist screams in pain as blood begins to trickle down his body. He looks at you, Phelan, and he says, I will have your soul.
I doubt that. And that ends my turn.
All right, then, Leia, it is your turn.
I am gonna bonus action cast Healing Word on myself because I went owie, 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 owie. That is 7 back to me. Come on. Here we go. And it's 22. And then I think I would like to try and crossbow this one. I don't remember how to ping, I'm sorry.
Click and hold.
Click and hold. This one, thank you. So yeah, that's just
Could you ping him again one more time, please?
yes, here.
All right, got it.
Thank you. That's a crossbow. To hit. That hits, and then
19 will hit.
I didn't even need the bless, although thank you for that, Phelan. I haven't forgotten. And then that is 3 piercing damage.
All righty. So, Leia shoots her hand crossbow at the cultist attacking Rust. Its bolt flies true and hits it right in the center of its back. He screams out in pain, taking 3 points of damage. Does that end your turn?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Sage, it is now your turn.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cast Hunter's Mark again on. Let's see if he's on mute. Actually, no. I'm gonna move right up here next to this guy, and I guess I will go ahead and use my short sword. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, I was trying to see if I wanted to use another bonus action, but I'm good. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll my short sword on this guy right here.
All righty. Awesome. 18 hits for 8 points of damage. With quickness that seems completely unnatural, Sage rushes into the battle to help Rust, and drawing her short sword, slashes the cultist for 8 more points of damage.
I think you can move the Hunter's Mark as a bonus action.
Oh, can I do that? All right. Can I move my Hunter's Mark for a bonus action?
If I remember the spell correctly, it has to be done, I believe, at the time of death of the creature, but I think it also has to be done on your turn, if I remember the wording correctly. So yeah, I will go ahead and allow it, and I will research that for next time for when it comes up.
Okay, perfect. I think I'm gonna put it on this guy though for my next turn.
That guy?
Yep.
All right, so you've moved your hunter's mark. You've attacked the cultist. Does that end your turn?
Yes.
Rust, it is now your turn.
Okay. So Russ is going to attack this cultist right here.
You have advantage because he's on fairy fire.
And he also has advantage because his rapier gives him vex. You do not get double advantage, though, unfortunately.
Aww. But why not? Roll.
All right, a 15 will hit, and since you do have that advantage, you want to see if you get the crit.
That is advantage.
Oh, it did roll it as advantage, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
But if 15 still hits, go ahead and roll for damage, my friend.
Man, can I have advantage on the damage too? Where's all my good rolls going? I'm smiting him too.
You used them earlier. Go ahead and roll your smite.
Come on. Roll it, please.
For 10 points of damage total. Everyone sees Rust with the expert flurry and flash of an expert fencer slash the cultist. And as his blade passes past the body of the cultist, a blast of radiant energy seems to manifest itself out of nowhere and smack the cultist.
And that will end my turn.
All right, then, Kiri, it is now your turn.
Alrighty. I am going to move straight up ahead, park myself right there. And then I'm going to cast Primal Savagery to give myself some nice claws and try to hit that wizard right there.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll. You have bless. Roll a d4. 15. A 15 does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Alrighty.
So everyone sees Kiri charge forward. And with a primal yell, you see her fingernails begin to grow and extend. And with a savagery of a wild animal, she claws at the cultist in front of her, doing 2 points of damage.
And that'll end my turn.
All right. Now it's the cultist's turn. So they've already done their magic missile. That's the only slot that they have. Let's see here. What should I do? First, Russ, we're going to go against you. He's going to try to stab you once again with his knife. The cultist lunges forward with his knife drawn, wanting to end your life in a single blow. But you parry the blow with your rapier, toss it aside as if it were nothing. The cultist below you turns to face Sage and tries to smack her in the head with his staff. And he gets in that 20. That staff connects right up on the side of your head, Sage. Pain shoots through your entire body. You almost feel as if your skull might have been cracked open. You do feel a trickle of blood, run down your cheek. You take a grand total of 10 points of damage from that hit. Then we will do this. So it would be an attack roll, and it's a D10. It would probably be, keep it that there. All right, so the two cultists in the back of the room, they're going to attack you, Kiri, but they use Firebolt. The one that's in front of you goes first. 5. The 5 does not hit your AC as the Firebolt just shoots past you, twirlies around the room, and with a little pop and explosion of fire and sparks, it explodes right here. The second one casts Firebolt at you for an 18, and 18 hits.
That's silvery barbs. I'm going to, yes, that's an appropriate use of it.
All right, so you must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll. All righty, here it goes. 14, and a 14 then misses, since that is lower than the 18.
Nice.
And the firebolt flies right past you and explodes against this wall. Sparks rain down on you, Phelan. So that's those two, that one, boom, boom, boom. So I just got the two on the left. Phelan, the two on the left, they're still going to go after you. You've got them pretty much locked down. Does a 15 hit your AC? No, it does not. The cultist in front of you tries to swing at you with his staff. And then the skeleton tries to slash at you with his short sword. You block it with your shield. All right, Phelan,
All
it
right,
is now your
Phelan
turn.
is going to use his cantrip Vengeful Blade on this guy and make an attack.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Sorry, that was an 8 because that was one-handed. Then I got my D4 from the Divine Favor.
So a total of 11.
Correct.
All right. So Phelan, using the long sword of blessing, slashes through the cultist, cleaving him in two with that amount of damage. The cultist falls to the ground in two pieces. And then, because the source of the magic holding the skeleton together no longer lives, it falls to the ground in pieces.
All right,
Does that
so
end your
I'll
turn,
move.
Phelan?
Phelan's going to move. Is this a wall right here?
Yes, but you have room to stand there.
Okay. And that's my turn.
All right, then. Laya, it is now your turn.
H, how are you looking health-wise? I can't see your HP.
Who are you
I'm at
looking
half.
for? Yeah, she's got 14 of 24.
14 of 24. Okay. I have one first level healing word left, and you can't heal yourself because you're a sorcerer. Okay, yeah, I'm going to bonus action first level healing word to Age. Let me roll it just a minute. Oh, that's 8. Back to you. Then,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm going to tap to crossbow this shooter right here. Crossbow is actions. Even with the bless, that's not gonna hit.
Right, but you have an advantage on that guy because that guy has fairy
Oh,
fire.
that's true. Thank you for reminding me. All right, one more. There we go.
Yes, 22 will hit. You don't have to roll the plus if you don't want
That's
to, but
okay.
you can if you want.
5 piercing damage. So he's gone.
So Laya, with expert aim, shoots off her hand crossbow. The bolt finds its target true right between the eyes. The cultist's head is forced back and he falls to the ground dead. Does that end your
Oh, I think no. I'm gonna move over here. Yeah, I'm gonna move there. That's within the 30 feet, and that ends my turn.
All right, Sage, it is your turn. So, a little bit of mechanics here because I don't think I applied it last time and I should have. So, I apologize for that. You and Rust are flanking the one that's in between you. And with flanking, you are allowed to have advantage against the creature.
Okay. He does not have much HP left, so I may leave him for rest. And
It's up to you. Remember, when it comes to combat and things like that, it's a numbers game. The more
Mhm.
you leave alive, the more there's a chance that you'll have more attacks done against you.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I'm right up next to this guy, so I guess I will go ahead and use my short sword against the cultist between me and Russ.
All right, go ahead and roll.
Alright.
An 18 hits.
Okay.
the exact amount that you needed as your sword bites through the shoulder and continues down its body and stops at the chest. As you retrieve your short sword from such the massive blow, the body of the cultist falls to the ground dead.
Nice.
Does that end your turn, Sage? Or would you like to move?
Yeah, I think that ends my turn.
All right, then, Rust, it is now your turn.
Rust is going to walk up and he's going to attack this young lad right here with his rapier. Woohoo!
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
And I'm going to smite him as well. Because why not?
All right, for 12, go ahead and roll the smite.
Nice. 18.
18. Whew. All right, here, let's do it again. 11. He's still standing with 2 hit points left. Rust absolutely nails the blow as his rapier goes through the gut of the cultist in front of him, coming out his back. When he retrieves the sword, the cultist coughs up blood and says, "The worm protects me. I shall claim your soul for the great worm."
Try your best, laddie.
If that ends your turn, Rust, it'll be Kiri's turn.
Yes, that'll end my turn.
Alrighty. I am going to cast Poison Spray on the wizard next to me.
Alrighty.
Please don't spray me.
Is it a cone?
No, it is just a target.
All right. A 16 does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage. For 7. A viscous greenish liquid shoots forth from Kiri, splashing against the cultist in front of him. He screams in horror and pain as the poison takes its effect, doing 7 points of damage.
And that'll end my turn.
All right, Kiri. He's going to go against Rust. 8. The firebolt shoots forth from the wizard, completely missing Rust and his fellow wizard, and explodes on the wall over here. The one in front of you, Rust, is going to go ahead and try to attack you with a staff. 16. You block it with your shield and break the staff. That is how much force the wizard was using. That ends the cultist's turn. Phelan, it's now yours.
Can I get up to there?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to attack that wizard with my longsword. Just go ahead and roll that again.
23 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. Or 11. Wow. With an expert swing of the long sword, he separates the head from the body of the cultist, and the body falls to the ground dead as the head rolls off into the distance.
And that ends my turn.
All right. Laya, it is your turn.
I am potentially going to do a kill steal here. We'll see. Maybe not. But I'd like to try and shoot this suitor.
The last remaining cultist, go ahead and roll.
That's a 9, and I did not have advantage on him because he failed. He passed the dexterity fire, so.
Right, but you do have, if you max out the roll on Bless, you will hit him.
Oh, that's true. Just a minute. 1d4. That is Okay,
Oh,
that's all right.
so close. The bolt flies through the air, barely missing the cultist and almost hitting Rust and thunks into the wall here.
Is not to be. I will come. Oops, come here, you. I will. I think. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong. Trying to grab Kiri. Sorry. I shall just. I think move here, and my bonus actions are largely healing word and Nordic, so I'm done.
All right, then, Sage, it is now your turn with one cultist remaining.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go for my longbow and see if I can hit him.
Oh, that'll hit.
Nice.
All right, and damage.
13 points of damage. So on a 26, let's see. Your arrow finds its target, burying itself deep into the cultist's chest, and with so much force, the cultist flies back and is pinned against the wall. His head droops down, and the cultist no longer moves. Now something happens. The room begins to shake and shudder as if a massive earthquake is happening. Now that all the spellcasters that were concentrating on the magic circle are dead, nothing is holding it together. The ground shakes and the cobblestones within the floor crack and break with a thunderous sound. And the magic circle, the magic energy fades from all the runes. The distortion within the air flickers and disappears. And you see something left behind. A stone is now left in the center of the ruined magic circle. It pulsates. It writhes on the ground, exuding an evil aura of power. And that, my friends, is where we shall end our first session.